In looking at obstacles that keep Christians from sharing the gospel and reaching out in love to Muslims, I have come across one that I call the Abraham dilemma. Muslims, Jews, and Christians all consider Abraham to some degree the father of our faith, and we want to follow him. We want to be sure that we don't do anything to dishonor him. But the question is, can we take that too far or the wrong way or twist it? Let's look at what the Bible says. In Genesis 12, we have the call of Abraham. And the Lord speaks to Abraham and tells him to leave his country. And he makes promises to Abraham. He says, I will bless those who bless you. And whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. So that's from the first book of the Bible, Takwin in Arabic, Genesis in English. And then let's also look in the New Testament, what it says in the book of Galatians. It says, consider Abraham. He believed God, and it was credited to him as righteousness. Understand then that those who believe are children of Abraham. The scriptures foresaw that God would justify the Gentiles by faith and announced the gospel in advance to Abraham. All nations will be blessed through you. So, those who have faith are blessed along with Abraham, the man of faith. Christian friends, I'm sure that you all agree with these verses and probably know them, may even have memorized them. So why am I talking about the Abraham dilemma? Well, I'll explain to you why. Because part of what has happened over the last century or so is that Christians realize we need to love Jews. We certainly don't agree with them on everything and their interpretation of the scriptures, but we are especially aware that they have been unfairly treated and persecuted with the Holocaust in Europe and with other bad things. And we certainly don't want to do that because the Bible tells us that Abraham is our spiritual father and that he will bless those who bless Abraham and curse those who curse Abraham. And what I have found is some people are actively encouraging Christians now to be afraid that they will accidentally, or the word might be inadvertently, curse Abraham if they do certain things. And that fear of cursing Abraham or Jews or Israel might make some people afraid to reach out to Muslims. And I will tell you, friend, a very mature Christian who supported many ministries did eventually come around to supporting what we do, but at one point said to us, why are you reaching Muslims? They are the enemies of God. Wow. Okay, who are the enemies of God? Well, according to the Bible, anyone who doesn't go God's way is an enemy. We're surrounded by people who don't go God's way. And Jesus never said, only pick certain peoples that are the enemies and you don't have to share the gospel with them. No. He said we need to share the gospel with who? Everyone. Matthew 24 says the gospel will be preached to all the people. That's panta ta ethna, which means all the ethnic groups. Before the end, they will all hear the gospel. And in Matthew 28, he tells us to go and make disciples of all nations. It doesn't exclude any people because they might be the enemies of Abraham, or if we bring them the gospel, we might become enemies of Abraham. No. Are we cursing Abraham if we share the gospel with Muslims? Examine yourself. You might have thought somewhere in your brain that if you are nice to a Muslim, you are cursing Abraham or the Jews. No. The Bible tells us that the people who in faith receive God, we're all children of Abraham. And if we bless those who follow Abraham, then who are we blessing? All Christians. If we love everyone in the world, who are we following? Jesus. And also ask yourself, friends, who are we supposed to curse? If you are following Jesus, are you going to curse anybody? No. You are going to love everyone and bless them with the gospel as much as you can. So I ask you to lay aside any fear that if you love and share the gospel with Muslims and do good to them, that it means you are doing bad to Abraham. No. You are following Jesus. If you love the least of these even, if you love your enemies, think of all those things that Jesus taught us. And don't fall into the Abraham dilemma. Do not listen to those who tell you that you must make Muslims, Middle Easterners, all these people your enemies. Yes, we know they don't believe the gospel. We know they work against it. But so do most people on the planet. So once again, as we say elsewhere, if you don't feel love for them, pray. Romans 5, God can pour his love into your heart, just like he did with Corrie ten Boom and other people who have overcome that fear and anger at their enemies.